Shalom. I would like to talk about one brief passage in the Haggadah and then relate it to our current situation during the war in Gaza. I'm referring to a famous Aramaic passage that occurs at the beginning of the Haggadah. It says there, Kol dichvin yetev yechol, kol ditzrich yetev yifsach. Whoever is hungry, let him come and eat. Whoever is needy, let him come and share Pesach with us. And even though this is recited at the beginning of the Seder, unfortunately in our time this is merely a formality because people don't actually walk in off the street and join us at the Seder. But of course this refers to the mitzvah of hachnasat orchim, or hospitality. This mitzvah has a long and illustrious history both in the Bible and in rabbinic literature. We all know the stories of Abraham and the angels in Bereshit chapter 18. We know the story of Rebekah and the way she greeted Eliezer at the well. We know the story of the way that Yitro, Jethro, took in Moses. We know the story of Manoach and the angel in the book of Judges, the story of the Shunammite woman and Elisha in the second book of Kings, as well as some famous verses in the Bible, such as Isaiah chapter 58, V'alo paros la'ra'ev lachmecha v'aniyim merudim tavi bayit. You should spread out your bread for those who are hungry, and those who are very poor you should bring into your house. Or the book of Job, chapter 31, Bachutz lo yalin ger, dilatai la'orach eftach. A stranger shall not sleep outside. I will open my door to a guest. And then, as we segue to rabbinic literature, we have a famous passage which is also found in the Siddur, but which actually comes from Shabbat folio 127a. Amar Rabbi Yochanan said, Shisha dvarim adam ochel perotehem ba'olam hazeh, va'keren kayemet lo la'olam haba ve'elu hein. There are 6 things where you eat the fruits in this world, and the principle remains for the next world. And what is the first item? Hachnasat orchim, hospitality. Similarly, we learn in Pirkei Avot chapter 1, Yossi ben Yochanan ish Yerushalayim omer, used to say, Yihi veitcha patuach lirvacha v'yu aniyim b'nei veitecha, that your house should be open wide and poor people shall be b'nei bayit, should be at home in your house. In Baba Batra, we are told of an interesting custom practice in Jerusalem before the destruction of the Second Temple. Od minhag gadol haya b'Yerushalayim, mapa prusa al gabei hapetach, kol zman shemapa prusa orchim nichnasim, nistalka mapa en orchim nichnasim. There was another beautiful custom in Jerusalem before the destruction. A cloth was spread over the entrance. When it was there, guests entered, and when it was removed, they did not. Lastly, to return the Haggadah, the famous sentence which I quoted is based on a story found in the Tractate of Ta'anit, folio 20b. There we are told that Rav Huna, who lived around the year 250 of the Common Era, did this every day of the year. Ki hava karech rifta hava patach levave va'amar, kol man ditzrich lete v'lechol. Whenever he broke bread, he used to open his door and say, let anyone who is needy come and eat. So it appears that originally, kol dichvin was not simply a sentence we recited at the beginning of the Seder, it was something that people actually did. And so we are told by Rav Matityahu Gaon, who lived in Babylon in the 9th century, regarding the custom of saying kol dichvin yetev yechol, this was the custom of our forefathers. They used to lift up their tables and they left their doors open, and they recited kol dichvin in order that their poor Jewish neighbors should come and eat. They did so in order to receive a reward from heaven. So what happened? Why did Jews stop observing this beautiful custom? Once again, Matityahu gives the answer. And now that we have more non-Jewish than Jewish neighbors, we provide the poor with food before Pesach, so that they will not have to beg from door to door. But we still lift up the tables and recite kol dichvin according to the custom of our forefathers. And so the custom has remained for over 1,000 years. We give ma'ot chitim, money, in order to buy matzah to poor Jews before Pesach, to ensure that they will be able to purchase their Pesach provisions, and we lift the Seder plate and recite kol dichvin during the Seder. How does this play out in our modern reality? In Chutz La'aretz and in Israel, we of course arrange to invite guests to the Seder before Pesach, and we also give food and provisions to the poor before Pesach so that they should have what to eat on Pesach. But I think that particularly during the past 6 months, as the war has raged, both within Israel and in Gaza, I think that this principle of Hachnasat Orchim, of welcoming the stranger into our homes, has played out in a very beautiful fashion. Immediately after the war began on October 7th, hundreds of thousands of Israelis have welcomed strangers into their homes. They have baked and cooked food for huge numbers of soldiers, and they have brought food and clothing to some 250,000 people who have been evacuated from their homes near Gaza and on the northern border. In other words, this beautiful Pesach custom of Hachnasat Orchim has really become the norm in Israeli society. We hope and pray that this norm will continue in years to come, not only in times of war, but in times of peace as well, that we should fulfill the mitzvah of Hachnasat Orchim, of bringing strangers into our home, or of bringing them food to their homes. We wish all of you a Chag Kasher v'Sameach, and we hope and pray that in a short amount of time, the hostages will be brought to their homes, and we will defeat our enemies. Chag Kasher v'Sameach from Schechter.